if you guys could see us before we press record, it's probably some of our best content. Maybe we should start doing like some behind the scenes with you making your ridiculous faces, Rhodesia, with Eshaun doing the shoulder lean and to the intro music. It's all good stuff. Welcome to the TFW podcast, episode 31. Matt here, Rhodesia here, Eshaun here. Give it to the folks. How you guys doing today? And you are on mute.
Somebody on
you
mute.
Just won! Oh no! Jeez.
First time for everything, right? I said like the best intro I've ever said before.
I bet you did.
Now only this ring light sees or heard what I said. Eshaun, what's up with you?
Hey, what's going on, my people? Everything's great. I'm just munching on some snacks over here.
Yeah, you better put those snacks away.
Yeah, it's time to work, man. It's time to work.
I'm working on these snacks.
All right, you working on those treats. Working on those treats. So business first with the podcast. I thought I was going to have to come in here and have a heart-to-heart with Eshaun to say, hey, man, this ain't working out. We got the numbers back from WrestleMania Night 2 pod through the roof. It is now our number one podcast that we have done in terms of listen. So thank you guys for listening. But then we get the numbers from last week's show. And that show is the third most listened to podcast that we've done. So once again, thank you. So I guess you guys do like Eshaun. And it wasn't just that, hey, he was off the pod, so everybody decided to listen. So shout out to y'all. Hey, shout out to E. You still here, man.
Eshaun.
We appreciate you.
So you guys listen to the consistent bullying by
Not
my
bullying.
quote-unquote
Not bullying. Not
great
bullying.
friends. It's consistent.
Not bullying. Not bullying.
Yeah, and it's not really consistent. It's like every other week.
And it's not
You know what I
bullying.
mean? True that. So
Not for me.
today's pod, like I could have kind of went a couple different ways with it. Either this would have been I'm shitting on everything pod, and I was like, well, that's not really good. So
No, bad energy.
I could have definitely been a hater on this. I'm not going to be a hater. So I am going to have a lot of fun on this pod. I'm probably joking a lot. All right. So if you guys need to bring me down a little bit, if you need to, cool. But that's how we're going to go. We are going to start with, though, we've been talking about it. It seems like these two guys take up the bulk of our podcast, and that's Vince McMahon and CM Punk. But it looks like, CM Punk is back in AEW, if you believe the latest news that's out there. Something broke yesterday just in regards to, hey, there's some news about Punk wanting to come back, being open to come back, et cetera, et cetera. Today, a little bit more concrete information comes out. Last night, AEW puts on their website that they are coming to Chicago June 21st for Dynamite and Rampage. It is the last Dynamite and Rampage before Forbidden Door, before they head over to Canada. So, of course, I saw that. I'm like, that's interesting. They haven't been here since Thanksgiving Eve, which was, the time Punk was out. MJF skipped the show because they knew what that would probably look like. Information comes out today. The June 21st Dynamite, quote, would be interesting, end quote, and one to look out for. As of today, the plans have been for Punk to make his return at that show or sometime around that show.
Oh, so this is official.
It's not official because we don't know yet. We ain't heard officially, but this is official to the backstage news that we know about. He is back in evidently good graces with Tony Khan. If he was ever out of good graces with Tony Khan, we've talked about this before. I am going to be under the assumption Bucks, Kenny, and Punk have talked already. I don't know how this comes up if they have not. But what's your guys' thoughts about, it looks like Punk is seemingly returning for the Summer of Punk, I guess what, part 3? Because we had it last year and he left. So yeah, Summer of Punk part 3. What y'all think?
I think both of y'all, we talked about this several times already on the show. Both of y'all had mentioned that you believe CM Punk will be back in wrestling and be back in AEW. I think I went on the record by saying I just don't want to see him back in AEW. How I feel about it, I mean, if he's still under contract and Tony wants to do business with him and still see him as an asset and can bring in some money and generate some interest in AEW, they're doing big things with the stadium show in Wembley. Why not go for it? Again, for me, I'm kind of like, all right, I'm going to watch him as he come back. I'm going to maybe eat a little bit invested in his character. But other than that, I just know that something like this might come up again. He's polarizing. I mean, this is kind of it follows him, it precedes him and follows him. So I don't know. I'm just gonna just sit back and watch, and I'm just gonna just see how this plays out.
I think it's great for business. We talked about it before. I think it's great for their business. I think it's great for fans. I think it's great for the company. When he came back, I mean, it generated big numbers and generated a lot of attention for that show. And I think that him leaving, put a sour taste in a lot of fans. And we look at a lot of these ratings. They're hovering around 800,000 and et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
When Punk was on the show, his debut was almost 1.5, right? We thought he was going to continue
on a Friday Night Rampage, so that wasn't even Dynamite.
Oh, that's exactly on a Friday Night Rampage on a show that's getting, half their audience in any given week. So I think this would be a great shot in the arm. I think that it'll generate some interest again. I think people will want to tune in to see what he's doing, what it's about, how he's assimilating to the roster, what's changed. So I'm all about it, right? 'Cause I want to see that company continue to grow, and I think that Punk is going to help that company grow. He's such a great character, a great interview. He was a great wrestler. He still is kind of rounding back into shape. So yeah, I'm all for it.
And it's funny too, because if you look at the people,
I'm thinking though, when we look at Punk and just like the locker room and the message they're trying to send in the locker room, we know FTR loves CM Punk, but it seems like a lot of maybe the pillars in the AEW first day homebred talent may have some kind of friction with him. How do you think that's going to play out? Even if they did make it right with the Elite, how do you think he's going to be received in the locker room? Is he going to have now his own locker room that's going to be separate from everybody else? I mean, at what point is it business and trying to run a company where it's harmonious as much as it can be?
Well, no locker room has ever been 100% harmonious in wrestling. From indies to NWA, WCW, WWF, WWE, go all the way down. Impact, TNA, AEW. Rhodesia, you and I have heard stories about just how that locker room is, and you kind of got to watch it back, et cetera, right? So to me, all that means nothing, though. At the end of the day, you're at work. We've all worked with people we don't like.
Yeah.
Now, granted, we all haven't bit people at work we didn't like and get our dogs allegedly kicked by people we didn't like and our doors knocked down and things of that nature. But we've all been in that situation. I think at the end of the day, Tony's got to say, look, I am the boss. What I say goes. This is what it is. The thing about Vince, and there's a lot of things, of course, that's been bad about Vince, but there's also a ton that's been great about Vince. This would have never happened in WWE in regards to, say, this would have popped off. Vince would have sat them both down and said, hey, look, y'all get y'all grievances out, whatever you want to do. If y'all need to fight, but we're not leaving this room until this gets cleared up. And it wouldn't have been a thing after that. Tony is learning, and that's fine. That is completely fine. We also know Tony's a sweetheart of a guy, too. But at the end of the day, it is business. So that actually leads me to my question I have for you guys around this is, who needs who more? Does AEW need Punk more? Or does Punk need AEW more?
I don't think AEW needs Punk. I'm going to stay in on that heel or die on that heel. If Punk wants to get back into wrestling, professional wrestling, his only two options is WWE and AEW as far as like the national big names. So I would say that Punk needs AEW more than AEW needs him. Because they still, they're coming to Wembley, hopefully selling out enough that stadium before this whole Punk thing.
Or was it before this whole Punk thing?
My perception of it.
Got you.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of comments online, and I think it's a good bit of people saying that they think that Punk needs AEW. I got to be honest with you guys. We talked about it a couple of times, Matt. We've been to a lot of these recent AEW shows. I think, what was the attendance record? Not record. What was the attendance at the last Dynamite, Matt?
Which one? The one they just did this
The
week?
one it just did. Yes.
3,500, I believe, was in the building. 3,200. It was a light
3,200.
crowd in Milwaukee. The last time they were in that building, they did 5,000 or 4,900. So they were off about 1,700 people compared to last time they were in there.
Again, in the last show here in Atlanta, it was, I don't think it was half the roster, but it was a good portion of that building that was tapered off. And I think you've seen this trend over the summer and since that. So when you look at the general interest of AEW, there's a huge hardcore fan base they have that's propping the company up and keeping it high. But you look at these ratings, they've been declining. Their hardcore audience seems to be dropping, and it's been a higher rate of, I would say, dissatisfaction with the overall product. You know, you go online, there's a lot of people who, you know, are ride or die fans that kind of dropped off on the show. So as far as do they need him? I think they need something to give them a shot in the arm. And I think that CM Punk coming back, the drama, right? Because we talk about drama as far as locker room. We've even talked about it on Twitter. Like, guys, we live in a different world. Like, hey, controversy equals cash. That's what Eric Bischoff always says, right?
Right.
People love the intrigue. People love drama. It's what grabs people attention. And so all about how you use that attention that you can get. Can you flip it to something positive? And I think they can definitely flip it to something positive. This company needs a shot in the arm, right? Is it dying? No. Is it doing well? Sure. But the thing is, can they do better? Absolutely. And CM Punk was a game changer for them when he got there. CM Punk was a draw for WWE. Why can't he be one now? You mean to tell me that AEW can't use another draw? Why not? They sure damn well could. I think that we need to get out of our feelings and understand the locker room. Look, it's a generational thing too. Punk's in his 40s. He's dealing with a lot of these 20-year-olds, the millennials, and whatever the generation is. It's a different relationship you got to have with them. You know, you always can't be straightforward. We're experiencing that, dealing with them as well. It's all a different type of relationship you got to have with these people. So definitely, he's good. They need him.
I think so.
More than AEW, more than
100%. I don't even think. Yeah, I don't even think this is close. I think absolutely AEW needs Punk more than he needs them. At the end of the day, I don't think he needs them. I think he's probably okay for money. So, you know, just taking the question for how I asked it, why would Punk need AEW? To scratch his wrestling itch or financially? I think he absolutely wants to. Hey, E, can you please figure out your life, man, with them chips, dude? Like, come on, man.
Go on mute. Thank you.
Right, look, go on mute like Rhodesia did in the first 15 seconds of this show.
You know what? Press the mute button.
He over there sound like a little rat, don't he? Sound like a little mouse.
Press that mute button.
I think that, I think that if you look at that, you say, okay, either he needs his wrestling itch scratched or he needs it from a financial perspective. I don't think he needs it from a financial perspective.
I would agree.
You let FTR tell
I don't
it.
think so.
Yeah, you let FTR tell it. He misses wrestling. He misses the fans. He fell back in love with wrestling with AEW. But if you had to compare one or another, he would be fine. Right? I mean, CM Punk is going to be CM Punk, whatever that looks like.
Without CM Punk.
They will, but they need something as a shot in the arm.
And we've seen when we've gotten something from AEW that a lot of times the booking falls apart. So do you think because of CM Punk, he'll be able to have more creative control?
No, I think he's a major star. Now knowing Punk is coming back, that makes selling Wembley a lot easier.
Sure. Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That makes, like, right now, they're not sold out of Double or Nothing yet in Vegas. CM Punk sells out that building by now. I'm sure they'll be sold out come Memorial Day weekend. But even here in Chicago, yeah, they had saturated the market pretty well, but they were selling out every single show. Last time they were here Thanksgiving Eve, they weren't sold out. Now with this news, they'll be sold out June 21st. They'll be sold out all out week because of CM Punk. And granted, he's from Chicago. But no, I think he absolutely is needed more in AEW than vice versa. I also think it's interesting. This is a perfect case study for characters, superstars, sell in wrestling, not moves. Nobody's clamoring for CM Punk because they can't wait for him to put on a 5-star classic when he gets back. Those days are over of any type of 5-star matches from CM Punk. We know we're going to get from him. We're going to get something that is technically sound, a fantastic story in the ring, something that makes sense, couple high spots, but it's the story we're invested in. It's the character of CM Punk. It's Phil Brooks that we are invested in. So it's just funny when you look at a lot of the fans that are really, really diehard AEW people, and they don't watch WWE, and they just talk about, it's all about the matches. It's just the matches. It's not just the matches. I always go back to Bandito, which ironically this week, I don't know if you guys saw this, he had a quote in an interview where he said that eventually one day he would like to go to WWE. Thought that was kind of like,
And he's still under contract, right?
Yeah. Like, his contract's pretty new. But we haven't seen Bandito. No. But I go back to, you had him debut. If you guys don't know Bandito, he's a fantastic talent. They had him debut. Then they had him go against Jericho in a qualifier. Lost. And I think he may have lost another match, and we kind of haven't seen him since. And I actually were going back and forth with people on Twitter because I said, why would you debut him in a meaningless match just for him to lose? And a lot of the quote tweets and the comments I got back was, wins and losses don't matter. Do you think this is going to hurt his career? Nobody cares if he lost because he's a star. And it's like, man, yes, I know there's a generational gap. You've been watching wrestling for a long time. But I also know how you are to make stars and make people who are memorable. CM Punk is that due to who he is, not because you can say, man, that last match he had with Hangman, woo, that was a 6-star classic. No, it's not. It's not about that. It's about, we know when we get Punk, shit's gonna hit the fan in promos, on Dynamite. If he shows up on Rampage, he's appointment viewing because typically when he shows up, something happens from a storyline perspective. So I just kind of wanted to put it out there that no, at the end of the day, still the characters that sell wrestling in the story. It's not wrestling moves. So it looks like we're going to get Punk, which I am excited about because I think they do need him. I think this is a perfect opportunity. WWE had a ton of momentum, and they still do. Still do have a ton of momentum. We talked about they have Backlash May 6th. They just changed the name of it today. It's no longer Queen and King of the Ring. It is now Night of Champions in Saudi. Yep. End of May. Then what is in June? In London in June. And then of course we got Survivor Series SummerSlam in Detroit, which shout out to everybody that got tickets. I saw a lot of excitement on social media a couple days ago. We all got our tickets. I know a lot of our friends got tickets. I told E he's got to get to the building early because from what I hear, Cody's gonna be curtain jerking that night. Ooh. At the way this is going, or let everybody tell it that like, oh, he lost at WrestleMania, his career's done. Like he's never going to be as hot as he was, as he is. So get there early, man. He may even be on the pre-show, so you guys can sing your song. Well, he may not have the pyro though. So just I don't want you to get too like. Matt, what is it? You may not have that, but you can sing the song. No, you know what it is. Come on, Eshaun. Come on, man. Sing it with us. You ready? Adrenaline, hit that thing, man, in my soul. Come on, man. Come on.
Control. This is just simply disgusting. It's just disgusting. It's disrespectful.
So, actually, kind of talking about SummerSlam. If you had to just guess, we have no idea. What's the main event of SummerSlam?
Gosh. Oh my God! I almost did CM Punk. Jeez Louise.
No, he's going to be at AEW.
Yeah. No, I was Cody and Roman. Why not?
So you're going Cody and Roman?
Why not?
Okay.
Because that's what everybody on the Twitter was saying. Don't tell me that Cody could lose tonight. And then they'll bring it back at SummerSlam. So I'm just going to roll with SummerSlam. That's where the energy is at. But I'll be in Detroit. What would I be doing, Matt? Putting them ones up.
Oh, we're definitely gonna throw the ones up. You already know how we get down. If that is the match, I'm not gonna be as confident. So I may be halfway throwing the one up. I may just throw the thumb up, just say, hey, I like this. Yeah, but I don't know what else it could be if it's not them. But I don't know if I guess yeah, I guess. And no, I'm not saying like I guess like it's a throwaway. It's going to be a major match. I'm just thinking if they were trying to keep Cody away from Roman a little longer, who do you have main event with Roman in that show? Do you somehow blow up the bloodline before you go back to Roman and Cody? Because I could easily see a Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns match main event in the show. I don't know which comes first. Does the entire implosion of the bloodline comes first, or does Roman dropping the title come first? So I don't know.
When is it 1,000 days? I know there's a lot of energy on the 1,000 days.
Oh no, that's
when is that?
Saudi. So May 26th, May 27th, whatever day that is.
Okay.
But as I told Matt in a text before he just sent me the most disrespectful text I've ever seen in my life.
What I said, man.
If Cody loses on my watch in my city, I'm jumping the rail. Y'all gonna see Eshaun sighting on TV. I'm jumping that rail.
Are you gonna get
taken y'all know.
Knocked out? You're gonna be knocked the F out.
And wait a minute, I'm gonna
we have to pod without you again that night.
I'm gonna read you guys this disrespectful text. He said,
"What I said?
Make sure you get there early. He'll be in the opener by that time. Loser ass ninja." And see, I only say one N-word.
Oh boy!
But that's not what he said.
Lies, propaganda. I've already told you about. There's a certain level of decorum you need to have when you are on this platform, sir. The listeners and viewers expect you to be an upstanding individual. They don't expect you coming in here throwing people on the bus and, more importantly, lying on people, especially me. You guys all know me. I wouldn't say anything like that. I'm not that type of guy. I wouldn't do it. Type of guy. That is a great segue. Vince McMahon. I thought this was hilarious. So, no Vince on SmackDown, no Vince on Raw, no problems. SmackDown was great.
Well,
should have been what we got night after WrestleMania this Monday with a ton of travel issues. I think a third of the talent couldn't make it to the show because there were flight issues from Orlando. Guess what? Great show. So looks like
we saw Bayley again too.
We did see Bayley.
I thought she was gone. And then we saw Bayley try to advocate for herself, kind of throwing damage control under the bus. And then
what I wanted to say
in Japanese.
What I wanted to say was this part, which I thought was hilarious about Vince. So, Hollywood Reporter reported that McMahon's continued employment shall be conditioned on compliance with WWE's conflict of interest and code of conduct in their equal opportunity and non-harassment policy. So translation of that is no more nasty old man behavior on their watch, buddy. Got to be on the up and up. They put that in the contract. That's pretty interesting.
Is the investigation done? Or
that's done. That is through the new company that is securing and merging UFC and WWE. They put that in his contract.
So then he shouldn't even be there, right? If he allegedly paid somebody off, wouldn't that imply that maybe he did it?
No, going forward. Goddamn, pal.
Got it.
No new booty.
Got it.
There you go.
No new booty.
Got it.
That's crazy talk. So we had a really good SmackDown, had a really good Raw show. Riddle on SmackDown gets involved in the Bloodline story. So shout out to WWE for not forgetting Solo was the one that took him out for months storyline wise, while in real life he went to go take care of himself personally. I wasn't feeling it. I don't want Riddle anywhere close to this Bloodline story. I am going to assume it's setting up a 6-man for Backlash. So maybe it's a one and done kind of a thing. But what's your guys' thoughts about Riddle being involved in the Bloodline story?
I just saw that there was a whole lot of on Twitter people getting mad that why wouldn't Riddle not be part of this story, because what you mentioned about him and Solo taking him out months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I feel the same way. It's almost like this is my baby. I worked so hard in child rearing my child. I don't want to just leave it to a babysitter who's just going to let him drink pop all day and stay up all night. Not saying that that's what Riddle would do to it, but I kind of feel like that same sense of this is just so beautiful and sacred. The people who touch this got to be worthy of it. And that's unfair for me to say, but that's just kind of how I feel. And that's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta be honest with you guys. Like, I didn't even put some clothes on. Like, the biker shorts was one thing, but now he got the draws. I didn't even no knee pads, no like something just look off with this man right now, and that was more distracting to me than him being interjected into his bloodline feud. But I get it because we got a lot of time between now and SummerSlam. Then we got a lot of time between SummerSlam and the next WrestleMania, and we got a hot storyline. So they got to kind of plug some things in to kind of breathe some freshness into it, or to kind of be maybe like a gap between like the next story that they're trying to do. So this is maybe there might just be a little distraction, maybe something for Solo to kind of get his teeth into, to kind of get him ready for whatever's next for him in his bloodline storyline. I'm not against it. I'm looking to see where it goes. But I'm more distracted with them draws, man. I need to put some more clothes on.
I like to see half naked men, so maybe that's what they are doing that for the ladies of wrestling.
I'm glad you said that. I just got reminded of something that I saw on Twitter. A lot of nasty women just gushing over Roman. There was this video of Roman going around. It's like something from one of his matches, and the women were just gushing all over it. Now let guys gush over one of the women in wrestling, and we're perverted, we're nasty. Why is there such a double standard? I'll throw it to you, Rhodesia. You are the women voice.
We're not about to do this. We are not about to do this because we would get into a full-blown fight right now.
Is there such a double standard with women can gush over Roman and Kenny Omega and you get the shrieks in the crowd, but when the guy does it, they whistle or they talk about just how beautiful a woman is. It is damn near a crime to do that. Tell us about that, please.
I don't think that what you just said is a bit flawed. Yes, there's women who will gawk after a man anytime a woman touches a man, or anytime anybody touches somebody that was not welcome. That is not appropriate in any case. But as far as what you guys do, a lot of times, at least from my own personal experience of what I've witnessed, they'll do their little cat calls. You kind of blow them off. And the next thing I know, I'm a bitch because I didn't acknowledge them. So I think it's just more so of that man thinking they can dominate over a woman. So you should be happy that we're gawking over you. Whereas I think a lot of times women just say, oh, this guy is cute. But in reality, I don't know if I really feel like a naked man, even though I just said it about Riddle being half naked, I don't think I really get that sexually attracted to somebody who's half naked, a man. Because I don't think we look at men like that.
But you do if they're attractive in the face, though.
But I'm looking at the face.
So typically women are like facial. Like you guys are all about, typically a guy has to be attractive in the face. If you have a body, fantastic. I don't know too many women that feel like, hey, it's your body first and then your face. Well, guys, we don't typically.
No, y'all like the bodies. I mean, y'all talk about a certain champion on WWE every single week when a new shot happens. A picture
champion
of
is
her.
that? Who is that?
Bianca Belair. Which y'all be teetering on that line of me wanting to cuss y'all out like y'all needed to check yourselves.
All right. So Anna Jay has a new t-shirt out from her promo that she cut.
I'm glad you went there.
What is
Have you seen it? Rhodesia?
Talk about it.
No.
So she cut a promo. Just type in Anna Jay t-shirt. She cut a promo a couple weeks ago, I think on Rampage. And she said, I've got a fat ass and a bad attitude.
Talk to him, Anna.
Yes, you do. I don't know about the bad attitude, but that first part. Jesus.
And she got a peach on there. Wow.
She's not playing with him.
She ain't playing with him.
She not playing with him.
Hey, this is the thing. I was gonna bring that up, right? Because see now, even when Anna
was that gonna be your TFW moment of the week?
Oh damn it! It should have been. So even now, when she comes out, right? She walks down to the ramp. You know what she does? She spins it around and she points at that thing.
Come on, man! You got
like, wow. You know what I'm talking about? Look, there's a lot of men out here. They ain't got self-control. Like you can't talk to them like that. You can't point to the obvious. You know what I'm saying? Like men ain't I get it. There's a lot of weak-minded mind. They might go out there and think they can grab a peach. I don't know. Hey, but you know what's also funny, guys? So our girl, Jay Cargill, the queen, she posted a pic on Twitter. I think I sent it to you, Matt.
You did the one in the cemetery, right?
So she put she
she's half
captions.
naked too, I bet.
She's not actually. However,
Okay.
so she captions, "I love cemeteries," right? So
Okay.
it's her looking at these, mausoleum. I don't know what they call it, the little houses in cemeteries, but she's looking at one, and her back is to the camera. She's kind of far away, right? And she has like a little jacket on, and she has like these tight, super tight, skin tight, like green yoga pants, right? It's almost and it's those pants which kind of cupping the cheek a little bit, right? And you got to zoom into the picture to kind of see her.
Zoom in.
And
Well, I was about to say, it sounds like the way that he is absolutely describing this photo. He did his due diligence in zooming in.
You got to zoom in.
I didn't see all that in the photo.
Wait, whoa! You weren't looking hard enough then. You weren't looking at all. So you got to zoom into the picture so you can see her. You want to see her, right? And then you see it in that thing. It's right in the camera. So then it's the next picture over, right? And now it's a little bit closer. So she puts "I love cemeteries," and so half the people in the tweets are like, "Oh, you love cemeteries? Well, you should visit St. Paul's Museum in blah 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 and blah 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 blah." I'm like, she's not talking about these cemeteries right now,
What's
right?
she talking about?
She was trying to show that thing.
Oh,
That's what she was trying to. You need to tell. She's trying to show that thing. She proud of her body. She know what it is.
I don't even know how we got there, but
I don't either. Oh, we were talking about being the new contract of Endeavor.
Yeah, women have a what is that called? Where y'all can get away with it and it's cute and funny. Guys do it and it's nasty and unattractive.
But I think it's nasty and unattractive too when women, like that one time I saw a video, this is a couple years ago when Roman was bad and he was still part of the Shield, and a woman like grabbed his booty. Like that,
he talked about it.
Yeah, that is.
Well,
like,
disgusting. Well, no. Of course, this is all tongue in cheek. Never touch nobody. You keep your hands to yourself. So yeah, that is completely off base. You don't put your hands on people. But there's some people out there nasty, that think they can do that. But we know it is. I do like getting back to the bloodline. I really like that they're keeping the Jay and Sammy storyline going. If they wanted to, they could have pivoted away from it. And it looks like they're not. They're going right back into it. We saw the match on Friday. They had a backstage promo segment, kind of carried over to Monday. So that thing is still going on. So I do like that. Do you guys have any thoughts on that either way?
No, I'm happy because again, outside of this Riddle thing, I think that's where it started, actually, with Riddle. But outside of the Riddle thing, I am there for anything that they're going to present to me. And we know that when Sammy was introduced to the bloodline, and then, of course, naturally KO because that's his brother, all of that is fine. Those people I feel is worthy, quote unquote, to touch this bloodline story. So I'm all the way happy with that. I'm cool with that. I know that wasn't done. So I feel happy that we're continuing that story.
Mm-hmm.
Same. I agree.
Yep. On Monday, we had Trish turning on Becky. About time. Clap that up. I've been waiting for that. Trish is in
business picked up there on that stuff.
She is in so much now. The hit to the back was rough. Like I don't know what happened there, but the match, she is just so in better shape, ring shape than Lita. And it was a vast difference of watching that match with Trish and then watching the matches with Lita this go around. But shout out to Lita, of course, legend. I love seeing Trish in there. Now we're getting to it. Of course, alleged rumors are we're getting Becky and Trish at SummerSlam. I don't know how you hold that off for April, May, June, like 4 months. I don't really know that, but I'm there for it. That's a huge SummerSlam match. But I'm just happy that they pulled the trigger on that. I'm also happy for Liv. Liv has busted her tail all year. She barely made the WrestleMania card. So for her to be able to get, the tag titles, now we'll see what they do with them. We know that whole story. Shout out to Naomi and Sasha Banks. But we'll see what that looks like now. But I do want to shout out Liv for getting something for the work she's put in this past year. What did you guys think about the angle from Monday?
Same here as far as Liv. I've always said, even before, I do not want Raquel with somebody. I said that she's a bright enough light that she needs to be on her own. I still stand by that. Same thing with Liv. I think that her light shined bright enough where she can be on her own. But I think this felt right. We knew those belts had to come off of Lita and Becky. We knew it. So for them to get it and for it to be like a warm welcome, I love how that match ended. I'm actually excited to actually see their title run. Again, that women's tag team championship has been kind of polarizing. It just has been, and it's kind of feel like it's doomed. I think we had, what was it, Asuka and who was it? And I forgot her name. She's no longer
Asuka
there. Anyway.
Who? As tag champs?
Kairi
Yeah.
Sane?
Kyrie. I love their reign. But other than that tag team, and then I guess maybe for a moment Naomi and Sasha. But anyways, back to the point. I'm happy that Liv got it. I'm happy that Raquel got it. I think that the fans enjoyed it. I'm really excited to see how that goes because, again, Liv, she didn't deserve kind of the heat that she got from her title reign as champion. She just didn't. She didn't deserve that. We knew that she was better than that, and she put in a whole lot of work. So I'm happy.
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting story turn with Trish. I'm a big Trish fan. And that's the thing about Trish. She was one of the first revered women's wrestlers. Well, in a while, I would say that first, but in a while, she was kind of known as being a really, really good wrestler, almost like the female Rock, as we were kind of equating her to back in the day.
Yeah,
She
absolutely.
do her stances like the Rock.
Sell jobs and everything.
Yeah, she was really good. So it's like a riding a bike for her. As far as the tag team division the women's tag division, I don't have a lot of hope for them. They don't really have a division. They don't really have a lot of teams. It's a constant mixed shift of teams. It's a constant mixed shift of women who aren't really over or women they're not really doing anything with. Right. So it's as you said, they haven't had any real teams in quite some time. The only real team, to be honest with you, was Damage Control. Right. And fans weren't behind them, or we weren't behind them all the way.
Well, but will we say they're a real team though? They came out together, but when I think of real teams, I think of actual legit tag teams. I mean, you said it either last week or 2 weeks ago. You think all roads lead to Shayna and Ronda with the tag title, so I'm going to assume that's the next program for Raquel and Liv. Somebody on social media said that Raquel is, what they call her, the strange back lady or something like that. I laughed. That wasn't what they said, but it was something about how she shows her back off, and that's the only thing about her. They gotta do something about that. She's much more than
exactly
flexing that back that way.
It's a nice back, but no, you think about it. Damage Control's been together almost a year. They've been tagging,
and they debuted as a team. As a group. Yeah, that's
a team, right? That's not somebody they put together a couple weeks ago and now they're here, right? That's a legit team that's trying to build cohesion. So yeah, absolutely, that's a good team. Now, you want to say it's an over team? That's another question, but they've definitely been presented as a unit.
Women tag teams in WWE. Let's just do something real quick. You guys talk amongst yourself while I pull this up. I'm interested to see if they actually have any legit tag teams under contract right now.
They do not. If I think the next closest tag teams they have is going to be in NXT.
Yep.
Gosh, their names are escaping me right now, but it's
I always call them
the
Pretty
girl
Deadly.
with the braids.
Oh, you talking about them?
The females.
Yep. No, I was talking about the ones that just broke up. JC Jane and what's her name?
Oh yeah,
they just broke up, but I like them.
Toxic
Attraction. Yeah. I was gonna call them Pretty Deadly, but that's the guys.
That's the guys. Yeah. They were a legit team, but the two girls, the one girl used to date Ricochet. She was a gladiator.
Oh yeah, but I still thought that they were kind of just makeshift together too. But they've been together for about a year and a half now. So
yeah, no, they've been together a long. Yeah, at that point, to each point about Damage Control being together, we know Io and Dakota as singles, but they've been together for a year. Okay, I guess you can look at them as
and they debuted together.
There are no legit tag teams that I can see.
It hasn't been for a while.
That's crazy. Wow,
hasn't been for a long time. I think when they first debuted the championships, how long has the tag team champions been around for the women?
Was about 4 years.
They debuted them at the one that Survivor Series. Bayley and Sasha won it, and then they lost it to Iconics at Mania. So it's been at least 5 years.
It's been 5
And
years.
if my
Probably.
memory is correct, wasn't Sasha mad that she lost it to the Iconics?
Well, she was.
She was.
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't think it really was about them losing to the Iconics. It was about you're taking it off of us. We didn't do anything with it yet, et cetera, et cetera.
Got it.
Yeah, they got to figure that out. They got to figure that out. But I'm hoping everything is good with that. Eshaun, great segue. You brought up NXT. Triple H did announce last Friday that the draft is back. Presumably May 8th. They didn't give a date then, but that is the Monday after Backlash. That's the day that it makes sense to kind of reset everything. He talked it up pretty significant about how like the game is going to change forever. We'll see how that plays out, of course. But he also said in there, every superstar is eligible. That was also including NXT. So kind of got to thinking, let's do our kayfabe pick. So in storylines right now, okay? So, of course, we're sticking to WWE, Raw, and SmackDown. I mean, I guess you can go NXT if you wanted to. Who would you take if you were the GM and you got the first pick, either Raw or SmackDown? Who knows who's getting the first pick? Who is your first pick that you're taking and why? Eshaun, let's start with you.
Tribal Chief. Roman Reigns.
Roman?
Absolutely.
So, interestingly enough, mine's is a toss-up. It's between the two hottest guys in WWE right now. One being Roman Reigns. The other is being Cody Rhodes. I would actually pick Cody Rhodes first because we sticking with kayfabe.
This is ridiculous. This is.
I've never seen.
I want to cut this thing off.
I've never seen
Hey,
anybody
no,
pick.
I think it's ridiculous that Eshaun came on this platform for 2+ months. Cody couldn't do no wrong. The second
And now
Cody
you won't
loses,
draft him.
he is no longer the number 1 draft pick. What a piece of crap fan you are.
Yeah, but no,
Man,
for
that
me, for
you're
me,
a fair
I
weather
think-
fan. You know what I mean? Look at him. He is a fair weather fan. His man loses one match. And here he is not even taking him number 1. That's a cold world.
May I continue?
That's a cold world. Yeah, I guess.
Okay. I'll
The
pick Cody
audacity of E to not take Cody Rhodes after telling us for months Cody's going to beat Roman. He's the man. He's the champ. He struggled 16 years, 20 years, Stardust. This man would not take Cody Rhodes in kayfabe as the number 1 pick. Damn. He would take the Tribal Chief, though. The guy that should have won at WrestleMania. The guy that did win at WrestleMania. And I'll be damned, the guy at SummerSlam. Do you know how funny
Golly.
it's going to be? So we got to do the live pod, of course, that night. If it's Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, and Roman beats Cody again, and Eshaun, you got to do a pod with me in the same room, you're probably going to hit me. I'm going to get you to that level that you just have to apologize on Sunday, that your emotions got the best of you. It's probably going to happen
right now. I'm just laying out. I'm just letting the audience see who the real heels of this show is.
Look, he throwing you in there, Rhodesia. Even though you picked Cody, the guy he should have picked.
Right. Anyways, it would be Cody and kayfabe.
Yep.
Only because I have never seen a draft, at least to my recollection, where a heel was picked first unless it was by a heel GM. And right now we only have Adam Pearce as a GM, and he's not a bad guy.
No,
So,
but it's your pick. I know what you're saying, but I mean Roman was picked first last draft. But I know what you're saying. So you have either Roman or Cody.
Yeah,
I'd
and
say
I'm still
Roman
gonna
for
go
the
with
simple
Cody.
fact that he has the
Roman
belts.
Cody.
Like he's got both belts.
Oh, that's a good point.
Like
there too.
that alone. And I was
Mhm.
trying to find a way like not to take him kayfabe, but I'm like, no, like how
I
dumb
still
would you
take
be
Cody.
not taking the person that has the championships?
Yeah.
So
I still take Cody.
okay, so then what about real life? So this is legit now. You are starting your own show, Raw, SmackDown, and you get to pick your real life number 1 draft pick from WWE or NXT. Who's your number 1 pick?
Am I subject
Eshaun, I'm
to
start
this
with you
code?
again.
I still can't get over
That you
The
didn't pick Cody.
man-
I know. You probably forgot Cody was on the roster.
That the man who didn't earn a title shot, the man who still has to show me something, is your number 1 pick over the hottest wrestler in the world.
Because she's
it's
going
amazing.
Hold on,
You know why?
first off,
It's just
hold
amazing.
on. I never
It's
said
amazing.
that Cody never earned a title shot. I said Cody didn't earn to win the belt, is what I said since he's been
She said,
back.
I never said
to
Cody didn't
WWE.
earn the title shot. I said Cody sucks.
God, dog.
That's crazy talk. But no, in her kayfabe world, she's going to tell the proper story to build Cody up. Unlike
There
you
we
fickle
go.
fans that thought he should have just won it by wrestling 3 times with Seth Rollins and then coming in 30 at the Royal Rumble. Get the hell out of here.
These super smart fans are just
Hey,
too
did you
smart
guys
for their
notice-
own damn good. This is ridiculous.
Did you guys notice that Cody chant from the crowd on Monday, though? Somebody forgot to tell all 12,000 of them that Cody's dead in the water. Interesting how that works.
Number one, no one said he was dead in the water. They just said he
A
should
lot
have
of
won
people
on
said
Mania.
that.
A lot of people
said
are.
that. a lot
A lot of people are. Your boy Freddie
Look.
Prinze Jr. said that they're killing him. Those are his words. But then he said, but if he beats Brock, then it's all good. Wait for the story, stupid. Relax.
Call Freddie
Hey,
Prinze
maybe,
stupid.
maybe they was
Pipe
trying,
down.
but Cody's not going to die. We worked too hard to get to where we are right now.
Oh, here we go.
as
All right, we
fans.
back. We
All
back.
right,
we
we
back. Go
work-
ahead, man. We back.
We didn't work too hard to get to where we are to let fair weather fans like you
I'm not
who
a fair weather
think
fan
that
at all.
a scripted TV show, people need to earn something. They're giving it. They can pencil in anybody in any position and give anybody a championship. Who earns anything?
So why did you
They're
pick
not,
Cody
they're
as your
not
number one pick then?
physically winning in these matches.
So why did you pick Cody to win your number one pick in kayfabe?
What? Because Roman Reigns is the hottest wrestler in the world.
He said what? Not Austin.
He's the
All right,
hottest
so
wrestler. If he's the hottest wrestler, I love Cody. He's my favorite wrestler. But Roman Reigns, he is on a whole nother level. But
So, okay.
Why didn't you have this
So
energy going up
no.
to WrestleMania?
So real question.
I've had it.
Real question. I love you saying that. So if you know he's the hottest wrestler, why did you think he should have lost then if he's the hottest wrestler right now?
Let me ask you a question. What the hell is Roman Reigns doing right now? Like,
No, you can't
how
do that.
long-
You can't answer a
how
question
long-
with a
no, no,
question.
I
Wait,
can
he's
ask.
he's probably chilling right now. It's 10 o'clock
Like, what's he
in
going to do?
Florida.
Like, just,
He's probably relaxing, getting ready
it's
for
time. It's time
Saudi
for
show
a
in May.
change. It's time for a change, and the protagonist to do it is here now. Just because he's hot, don't mean he's not going to be hot without the championship. Right?
Well,
This is an opportunity
unfortunately
to
for you-
continue to build another hot wrestler to get on that level. That's what
You
I'm
could have
talking
done
about.
that. You could have done that in your
Jesus.
kayfabe world, and what did you do?
Yep.
You picked the tribal chief. You picked the head of the table, Roman Reigns.
He
Can't-
acknowledged.
Now you have another chance, sir. This is your real life number one pick. Are you going with Cody Rhodes to build your entire promotion around right now, or are you going with somebody else on Raw, SmackDown, or NXT?
I'm going Roman Reigns again.
I'm done. I'm all the way done. I'm leaving this entire
Let's go!
show. I'm leaving the show right now. I'm leaving the show now. For months we've been going through this with him. Are we serious right now?
Oh, that's great. Who you got, Rhodesia? Real life. Who are you taking? You can take anybody. You are building your company. Who you taking?
You just made my head hurt. Do I have to adhere to the code of conduct too that Endeavor put out?
I mean, if you're going to take Vince,
No.
do what you got to do. Like, I don't know why you would do that.
It was a joke about Roman. And me finding Roman attractive. No, I'm actually gonna pick Bianca Belair. Asked me this 2 weeks ago. I would not have picked her because I thought she would be dropping the title. But I'm gonna pick.
No,
Bianca
this is real
Belair.
life though, so it doesn't matter who's the champ because you can do whatever you
Okay,
want to.
sure. So then I'm sticking
Yeah.
with Bianca Belair because she has more miles left in her tank in wrestling. She has a longer wrestling career ahead of her than Roman does.
Yeah.
And that's why I would pick her. Now I know that she's probably gonna excel in whatever she does in life, even after wrestling. But she just has more mileage that she can give to my company. So I'll pick Bianca.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I had tied. I had Roman and Bianca.
Ah,
So now I gotta. Of course, I'll switch because you guys took those two. My third was probably going to be Rhea because I'm like,
That's fair.
she's got 10 years of main events under her belt coming, and
Yep.
she's somebody that I know I can build my entire women's division around.
and Bianca could sell
So,
a
okay,
lot
so-
of merchandise.
That's why I had Bianca down, but I wasn't going to take her
Mhm.
after you two took my other two pieces. I was trying to find somebody besides Roman. And I'm just like, no, real life, I will still take Roman. biggest wrestler in the world. He's got years and years and years left. Like, so then, okay, so if you all right, take Roman off the board, take Cody off the board, take Rhea off the board, take Bianca off the board. Who's the next person that you're picking?
So I thought we would be having this conversation about Braun Breaker. Guess there's still always time.
No, that's still a good one though.
What storytelling?
That's still a good one.
That's what I thought a year ago. I thought it'd have been Braun Breaker. I thought he was the future, the face of the company.
I think he'll be a top 10 pick on TV when they do it in a month. I think he'll be one of the first 5 on each side to be taken.
I'm gonna go with Montez.
Ooh, good one. Good one.
Because after Roman Reigns is my number one. My number 1B is of course is gonna be Cody, right? But we gotta take him off the board. But my number three will be Montez. I would take that man and I will push him to the moon. I think I'll do it as a heel, maybe actually.
Telling you, there's so much money in him as a heel.
I think I'll do it as a heel. I think I would get another big bruiser, like maybe like an almost type, maybe just to kind of give him as like a heavy. I would surround him with so much to get him to the next level. I think he's it. He can talk, he can go. And you know what? Here's the thing, man. I'm not a guy that likes guys, but he's a handsome man. He's a handsome man, right?
It was I was telling Rhodesia a couple weeks ago. I was trying to think of someone who is popular in wrestling. I'm talking about popular, like star, superstar, champion, that's ugly. And it wasn't about making it a vanity thing, but it was about, hey, do you have to be attractive to be a top star in professional wrestling? I went down a list. I couldn't think of somebody who is a legit star in wrestling, and you can say, oh, no, that person's ugly.
Oh, no, Hulk Hogan was ugly as hell.
Oh, no, I bet you the women didn't think so.
No, the women didn't think that. So I think, so this goes into what I'm about to say. I think it's the energy. So if I have swag or if I have self-confidence in myself, that's going to come off as being attractive. So for instance, Chris Jericho to me is not attractive, but Chris Jericho is attractive. And he's maybe not right now. We don't really care about him right now, but he was that man. He was that deal. He was an A talent. Jericho.
But would anybody look at Chris Jericho and be like, that guy's ugly?
No.
I don't think nobody would look at Jericho and say that guy's ugly. No, you wouldn't say. You would say maybe you're not attracted to him. You wouldn't point him out somewhere and be like, look at that ugly guy over there.
Well, then with that being said, I don't think anybody on the TV, I would say that.
Isn't that interesting though? Isn't that interesting though? Besides the people that are made to be monsters, right? Like Kamala back in the day, or
the Boogeyman.
Hell, yeah, like Boogeyman. There is really like, that's kind of a bad thing though.
But you know what though? Unfortunately, that's a society type of thing, right?
It's
like
the
you think
vanity.
about movie stars, people on TV, like most people who,
And I guess that probably goes to the quote unquote look too. This is a scripted, worked thing, so it's not like football, basketball, where hey, if your talent is your talent, it is what it is. I guess you got the decision makers that say no, that person has it. Looks is part of that.
Yep.
So, all right, that was fun. Something else that came up that I was like, we got to talk about this. There was a lot of talk on Monday night about Dom. And shout out to Dom because the heat that he is still getting after already fighting Ray is something to be talked about. He's in like uncharted territory with that. Typically, you get the heat leading up to the match, and then it died down a little bit because he lost. Let's not forget Ray beat him at Mania. Yeah, he got some of his heat back Monday on Bad Bunny. But he got whooped and he lost the match. And I was thinking like he's probably their best heel right now in WWE. So then they got me thinking about MJF. MJF is the biggest heel in AEW right now.
I know where this is going.
Who is the better heel right now between MJF and Dominic? Eshaun, I'm going to start with you first on this. Who you got and why?
So, question, because just so I can understand the question. So, when you say better, What do you mean better?
Whatever you think a heel is, whatever you know a heel is, who is doing a better job of that, Dominic or MJF?
Can you think about who's they're both true heels, but like Dominic is getting true, real heel heat. People legit don't like him, right? And he's doing a lot with it. But as far as who's better as a heel, who can carry a segment, for instance, like that last Dominic promo, you know, he was flushing up a lot of his sentence. I don't know.
My boy Dom was
rattled.
begging for mercy on Monday. He was, man.
Yeah, I don't know if he was
begging for mercy.
He was getting rattled, but I don't think the crowd response is what it was. But he was coming out of the tunnel.
And that's not the first time he's done that. Typically, and it's interesting, he'll kind of do that if he's out there by himself. If he's not playing off of anybody else, you'll kind of see that a little bit. Monday was like the worst of it, but he's flubbed sometimes where you kind of can see him overthinking a little bit. My man said, "Keep your name out of my mouth." Let's go, Dom.
That's like
I don't even know how you do that, but I'm gonna make sure that happens. I'm going to make sure that happens.
And then he tried to fix it. He flubbed the fix. I was like, oh, come on. Like, Dom, like, you got him, man. Just relax. You got him. Just relax. You can do it. So when they talk about better, like, you know, you don't see MJF doing that very often, right? But it's all good because, like, the fans kept booing him. Like, right? No one was laughing at him. They kept booing and they kept going. So you talk about who's better. You know, Dominic's getting better heel heat, right? Because the crowd legit doesn't like him. Whereas MJF, there's still a good portion of that audience that's kind of there with him. They're kind of, you know, wanting to cheer him. You know, just a week ago, I don't care if he's at hometown or not. Like, right, he turned babyface for that crowd. He's singing, he's dancing. And he makes it kind of hard to not like him. So you think about who's doing a better job as a heel right now, it got to be Dom. But I think overall it might be MJF. So for me, it's hard to gauge.
So if you gotta say right now, this second, you going with Dom?
Yeah, if you want to say who's legit doing their job, I would say it's Dom.
Okay, so you say Dom is a better heel. Got it. Rhodesia, what do you say?
Thanks for going to Eshaun first because I was able to Google what is a heel, and per Wikipedia, in professional wrestling, I'm gonna read it here. In professional wrestling, a heel is a wrestler who portrays a villain, bad guy, rule breaker, and acts as an antagonist to the faces. So, just looking at that definition alone, Dom portrays a villain, being a villain, just like MJF. Dom antagonized faces. Just like MJF. Dom is a rule breaker where I think MJF may kind of make his own rules. Like he'll say, I'm not wrestling this person or I'm wrestling this kind of way. And then thinking about a bad guy to exactly what Eshaun's point is. Dom is getting heat, real heat. No one's cheering for Dom. People still cheer for MJF. So just based off of right now, who is the better heel, I'm going to have to land on Dom right now. MJF has the potential to be the greatest heel probably of modern time, but I'm landing on Dom right now.
So crazy we're even having this conversation. Because I agree, it's Dom right now. Right now in this moment, it's Dom. Who would have thought, man? Like, who would have thought when I'm like, I don't know if Dom needs to go with NXT. I don't know if he needs to be released, but this is not working. To see just the progression of what he's doing now compared to what he was doing before he turned heel, man, oh man, golly, that is, we would have to probably really, really, really think hard on someone that figured it out and flipped as quickly and as good as Dom has done. And I don't want to hear anybody talk about, I've always seen it in him. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. When he was out there smiling with Ray on his shoulders, he sucked. He wasn't good.
So this must be a really great talent scout. I told you, when you would be telling me like, "Hey, Dom ain't got my, he ain't that bad." Like, what's wrong? Like, he's not. He has a decent look. I like his little gear. You know, he didn't look that.
So you
bad
hype on the gear. Okay, so put him in Riddle's gear. back then, you'd be like, "Oh, he's the worst thing that ever happened."
Well, Riddle's the worst thing that could happen. So I
Oh
mean,
my God!
Wow.
So
What was that?
What did he do to you?
well, those draws. That's what he did. To him.
Jesus.
He came out twice in them.
Man,
But
said
no,
Riddle was the worst thing that
Dom,
happened.
he was never really that bad. I thought he was fine in the ring. I mean, he wasn't his dad. I'm not sure people were expecting that. Yeah, he didn't find it on the microphone yet. But he's still finding his way on the microphone.
Yeah.
He
was just really, really vanilla back then, man. Like there was nothing to him. He kind of was
There's
just
no edge.
he's Ray's son. Okay. And that was it.
Mhm.
All right. That was everything that I had on WWE.
But you
Y'all
know,
got
you were
anything?
talking about sending Dom back to NXT. I want to talk about NXT really quick.
What you got?
Did you guys catch the last episode?
I did.
I did not.
Rhodesia didn't see it, but I did.
Good. I'm still finishing up though, but I have about an hour left. But I just wanted to talk about it really quick because that show has really, really, really improved. I'm not sure if anybody's watching it consistently or watching it at all, but that show has really improved. And you know, I was one of the NXT Black and Gold was my favorite. That I think they were so hot up until, to be honest with you, when they were going head to head, AEW and NXT for the first 6 months. To me, I thought NXT was still the better show until Vince started fudging it up with the call-offs and etc. I still thought that was the better show. I thought both shows were great. I loved that time period. I thought we had a great fresh new show, AEW, but NXT Black and Gold was still on fire to me. So I was really sad when they flipped the script and they turned it into this 2.0 thing.
Yeah.
But the stars that I didn't believe in when I first saw it are really starting to mature in the ring, and that's personalities and characters. You know, Carmelo, and that's one thing I want to talk about right now. Like Carmelo as champion, which is phenomenal. I love the package between he and Trick. Something about Carmelo. I'm not sure where it is, but I feel like there's something missing with him. Like, you know, Booker T said in an interview that he thought that the Braun Breaker and Carmelo match was like a 6 out of 10, right? So he's not doing the Dave Meltzer star rating, obviously, right? I guess he's doing like the regular rating. And I would kind of agree. And I don't think it's all on Braun in that instance. There's been a couple of Carmelo matches to where there's like a couple of weird like spots to where he's running around in a circle to do something, and I'm not sure what's really happening or what's going on. And even on the microphone a little bit when he kind of talks, it's like it's not a full connection. I think he has unlimited potential, but there's something missing from his package. And I think Trick adds a lot because he has a lot of personality. I think the two of them look dynamite together. But do you guys see any of that? Do you guys feel like there's something missing from him?
I think could have just been his opponents. Could he just been a victim of who he was going against? And this whole Braun thing, we already know kind of the epic failure of Braun Breaker right now as his championship reign. Like he just wasn't, the fans wasn't behind him anymore. So that's how I feel when I look at Carmelo. I see money, but again, I don't watch NXT every week, so I can't pinpoint. Oh, I see exactly what you're saying, Eshaun. I'm just looking at it. Maybe could have just been who he was dancing with.
When's the last time you watched consistently? E, have you been? Was this the first time you watched in a few weeks, in a month? Just this actual Tuesday show?
No, I watch it for the most part most weeks. I don't always watch the entire show because typically, like with most things, I'll fall asleep on it. So I'll try to catch the other half of it like the next day. But especially on Wednesdays, I'm watching Dynamite, so I don't always get to finish.
So, okay, let's start with Carmelo. I don't think anything is missing from him but size.
Ooh.
I personally think that's the only thing that's missing from him. I think he's got the gimmick down. I love everything about Melo. If Melo was probably 3 inches taller and 15 pounds bigger.
But he put on like 15 pounds for Mania. He
He
bulked up. Well, he looked like he got much bigger.
Pounds.
Okay, 5 pounds.
I would have had him as when we just did the shoot first round picks. he would have been like number 3 for me if this was like legit shoot style with Trick, because I think what they have is special. So I don't think there's some. I think that's what it is. The matches he's had before the Braun Breaker match have all been pretty much standout matches to me on their takeover specials. I still call them takeover specials. The premium live events.
Now? Oh, okay.
Whatever the name is of that said show, on Peacock. Braun came out on Monday. Did you see his promo that he had on Tuesday?
Nothing. It might be later on in the show.
Okay,
I haven't watched it yet.
Check that out. I was like, Came out in all black. Good, came out in all black. Basically just said like, hey, you can pander to the fans if you want. I'm over these idiots. You guys about to see another side of me. I was like, oh, yes. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. So we'll see how that plays out. I think he's going to do really well in the heel role, of course. Completely different type of skill set than it is being a face. But we'll see. I think he's still the future. It'd be fun to kind of check back in with you in a couple months. See if he holds the title, see if he gets caught up somehow, some way in the draft, and then kind of follow up and see what you still think about him. But yeah, for me, when I watch him, I think that's the only thing that's missing is just the size.
It's interesting that you say that, because that kind of have been just the industry thing. You got to be a big, tall, muscular guy. What I will say, under Triple H, he's shown that some of the, I don't even want to call him a cruiserweight. I don't know if that's disrespectful to say or not, because I don't like to size somebody like that. But Triple H has done really well in having what you would.
You don't like to do what?
Smaller guy. Sizeism, somebody. I made
what
that
is
up.
that?
That means when you're being an ism to size.
Got you. Hey, seeing that you Google what a hill is, why don't you Google that word you just said?
I don't even know how I would spell it though.
If that's really a word,
I don't know.
I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on from sizeism. That sounds like a
wait, real quick. Didn't you hate as a kid when you would ask a teacher or parent, how do you spell or something about a word, and they say go to the dictionary? Well, I don't even know how to spell it. Where do I even start at?
You said if I knew how to spell it, I wouldn't be asking you. I would be asking you.
Yeah. But go ahead.
Who was it? Who was it? Mrs. Who? Who told you that?
Oh, dang it. What was the name that he said the other day? Oh, man. See, if I was quick with it like you, Matt, I would have been on the trigger like, boom.
I thought you had one. I was about to boom. Oh. Like, trash ass Mrs. Clark.
Hey, SIZISM.
Is that a real word?
No.
Oh, damn. I was about to get hype.
See, I told you. Jeff Hardy's back. Good for Jeff Hardy. It was good to see him healthy and back doing what he loves to do. I put a poll up on Twitter, and actually the results just came in while we were podding. I said Jeff Hardy's back as he returned tonight on AEW Dynamite. Thoughts? I gave 3 options. 1 was awesome. Second option was he should have stayed away. Third option was not sure yet. Awesome was number 1 at 56%. Not sure yet was number 2 at 28%. And he should have stayed away was third at 16%. But majority happy to see Jeff Hardy back. I am completely torn on this one. So you guys can go first if you want. Because I don't know. I wanted him gone. And not because like I felt like, oh, he's just had so many issues, he shouldn't get another chance. It wasn't that. He's had a lot of addiction issues. And thank God I've never had to deal with addiction myself. So I cannot speak to what that feels like. We've all seen it, right? We've all had family that's been addicted to something. We've had friends that's been addicted to something. But I haven't had to deal with that. Outside looking in, my original thought was just stay away from wrestling. Get you right, like forever, and be that as it may down the road with whatever you decide to do for monetary gain, whatever the case may be. Then I kind of thought about it, was like, well, if he's not an addict due to wrestling, then it's probably kind of simple-minded, small-minded to say like, hey, stay away from one of your loves because you had a drinking problem. If one doesn't go with the other, then no, he should be able to come back. I guess so then my answer would be not sure yet. Because I am worried. I mean, he's had a lot of chances. He's had a lot of relapse. So for me, just as a person, I hope he's great. Jeff Hardy is one of the most beloved wrestlers in our generation. I don't think there's anybody out there who's just like, man, Jeff Hardy sucks. And that's kind of like hard for that in this thing that we love, that there's usually somebody who's always like a hater of a big time wrestler. I've never met somebody who was like, nah, man, Jeff Hardy sucks. Ever have met that. Yeah, we've been like, man, maybe Jeff needs to hang it up. He doesn't have what he had, but nobody's just like, oh, that guy's trash. So I guess I'm going to go with not sure yet. Rhodesia, what would your answer be? Awesome, he should have stayed away, or not sure yet?
I echo those same sentiments that you said. Right now, I'm kind of in the I'm not sure yet, because I think a lot of that addiction maybe came from the lifestyle of being a pro wrestler. Am I right? I mean, I don't know his story. I'm not
but once again, that's not fair to say, because like that's not fair to say. But I
guess the perception.
If it's not a trigger point for him now, that's when it's like, okay,
I'm awesome. Yep.
We gotta separate that.
If it's not a trigger for him, then awesome, because we know him and Matt was wrestling when they were little boys. So, and you saw King Maxwell in the ring. I kind of jumped around.
Sure
there,
did.
But anyways, but he
doing flips in the ring already.
Yes.
And I'm just like, man, to God willing, we're live and kicking and still watching wrestling. To be able to see Matt Hardy's son wrestle a professional wrestling match when we remember watching the Hardys when they were like 16 years old, lying about their age, like on Raw and Superstars. It's like, wow, that's going to be crazy.
If this isn't a trigger for Jeff, I'm very happy for him. Make it a little bit lighthearted. I love that when he came in the ring, he didn't have to hit his boom, boom, boom before he actually participated in.
He learned last time.
He learned last time. Last time he had to get it off.
He
had to get it off. But this time he didn't do it. He knew his mission. He did the mission. Then he celebrated. But if it's not a trigger, awesome. If it is a trigger, Jeff, find something else. And again, this is all his passion. So again, who am I to say not to live your passion? But I ache for him and I feel for him if this is a trigger for him. But
so you're going not sure yet? Or
I'm
going...
not sure yet. Not sure yet.
So middle would be... Oh, okay. All right. So you're not sure
I wonder, though, real quick before Eshaun go, I wonder when people put stay away, if they meant that in the sense of kind of like how we're saying that
doesn't matter
about his
and
health.
that's why I said it the way I said it. I didn't care if you want him to stay away because you were over him as a wrestler. I didn't care is because you didn't want to see him in AEW, or if it was from a personal, he needs to stay away because he needs to take care of himself. I wanted to keep it as general as possible
and subjective to yourself. So in the middle, I'm not sure yet.
Okay, so you're also not sure. What you got, E?
Hey, real quick though, I think we might owe Rhodesia an apology. Sizeism actually is a word.
Yes,
and it has an E in it.
What's the definition?
Oh,
that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
No, I just want to know what the definition is. That's all.
Prejudice or discrimination on the grounds of a person's size or weight.
There we go.
She didn't say sizism the first time, though.
What did I say?
It was like size this or something. You didn't say sizism the first time.
Know. It was a street prophecy.
Yeah, you didn't. You were struggling that week too.
But with Jeff Hardy, look, I wish him well. I hope he's healthy. He looks healthy. He looks good. I hope he stays healthy and sober. God willing. So hey, shouts out to that man. Do what he need to do to get well and get back. But as far as in the ring, I'm before the issues. Unfortunately, I was kind of over the Hardy Boys. I just feel like they're trying to wrestle the same style they did 20 years ago, and at almost 50, they can't do it. I think Matt Hardy should just be a manager and he should stay out of the ring. I just don't think he looks healthy, athletic, or somebody who should be in the ring at this point. I mean, he just doesn't look good to me. I gotta be honest with you. And Jeff still trying to do the same stuff he was doing years ago. It's not looking good either. So for me, I just don't want to see him in the ring anymore. Just from that very point, I just think it looks very good. Their last couple matches in AEW weren't very good. I'm just not excited to see them back in the ring. If this is they want to get another 2 matches to give us a goodbye tour. okay, cool, but I'm not excited to see, you know, old wrestlers not look like themselves in the ring anymore.
So you going? He should have stayed away.
Yeah, I'm not excited about it.
Okay. Yeah, no, I respect that for sure. So yeah, so he came back. That was good to see that. Rhodesia,
Yo.
throw it to you again because you are the female voice of the TFW pod. Vickie Guerrero and her husband issue a statement denying sexual assault allegations from her daughter. Hopefully everybody who's listening has heard about this. Quick rundown if you have not. Her daughter came out a week ago and said that Vickie's husband sexually assaulted her. Vickie came out and refuted it. Then I think she turned off her Instagram. She came back. Her being Vickie. Yesterday, April 12th. So I want your comments on this statement, Rhodesia. Says Chris and Vickie Benson respond to Sherilyn Guerrero's recent allegations. Chris and Vickie vehemently deny Sherilyn's recent allegations of sexual assault and abandonment. Miss Guerrero's unsubstantiated accusations have caused the Bensons to suffer public ridicule, scorn, and humiliation. Chris and Vickie fully appreciate the seriousness of allegations of this nature and the need for public support of sexual assault survivors. However, they ask that you withhold final judgment on this matter until they have an opportunity to bring Miss Guerrero and her claims into a court of law where judgment is based on facts and merit. I read that because that means that Vickie Guerrero is going to be taking her daughter to court. React.
I don't like getting into family business, but that's the cop out, and I won't be able to respond to that. So
I'm gonna say we talk about a bloodline every week.
Yeah. I guess you're
What
right
you
there.
talking about?
Taking your child. I don't know anything about the Benson guy, her husband. I don't know if he is a super business mogul where defamation is a thing. So assuming that he is not one of that.
Well,
or do
and
you know
correct me
if
if I'm wrong. Didn't the sister also claim that the sexual assault did happen?
Yep, on a cruise in 2020.
So the other sister said this.
She
this
said
did
that,
happen.
but she also said though that she and her mother, like, they have a bad relationship, and she even have a bad relationship with her sister. So again, there's some issues with character of the person, the victim, the presumed victim, as well. But I'm not speaking on that because I'm not touching on that. I'm touching on what you just asked me about that comment. Unless the Benson guy is a top business mogul where he can get a defamation suit against him and lose business and millions of dollars, like, Vickie, why are you taking your daughter to court? I mean, if it happened or if it didn't happen, we need to heal. You're not going to heal from taking your daughter to court. So to me, as a mother, I couldn't take my child to court. I just couldn't do that. But again, I'm not in their position. And the way Vickie says it, this daughter of hers has been like this forever. And she's I guess have some bad character flaws, but I can't take my kid to court. It's just, that's not cool.
Eddie's got to be rolled over in his grave right now, man. Like,
yeah,
who knows what's what? But that's when I saw that yesterday, I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah,
that's kind of crazy.
I pray for the healing over all of them because that's just so something. And even Chavo agreed that this happened too. I don't know how he can actually say it, but he said, no, I'm sorry. He said he supports Sherilyn. So he didn't say that, yes, this did happen, but he said he supports Sherilyn.
I think the writing's on the wall, probably kind of what happened. You put all those together.
Yeah.
Typically 2 + 2 = 4.
Yeah.
You know? So
just
there you go. All right. Either one of you got anything? I got something fresh for you guys. I'm really, really excited. We're going to try it out live on the podcast. It may be the best thing we've ever done. Maybe one of the worst things we've ever done. But before we get to that, you guys have anything else before we get to the TFW moment of the week?
I'm good.
No.
Okay. All right. Rhodesia.
Okay.
Act like nobody's listening. Okay. I got a song.
Okay.
Song is 25 seconds.
Okay.
Okay. I need you to sing your jingle during the song where it makes sense.
I mean, the TFW moment of the week.
Yep, I just found this like right before we recorded.
We're not gonna get a copyright infringement on whatever you're about to play, right? Okay.
It was already on the soundboard. You ready?
Okay.
You're not gonna sing it yet. You're not gonna sing it yet.
But you're 25 seconds.
Yeah. The clip is 25 seconds. You can sing it wherever you think it makes the most sense.
I have the melody. You have to say the same.
Hey, you catch the beat.
Oh gosh. Remember, I don't rap for free, so you want me to sing for free too? Oh, actually, I've been singing. Oh, never mind. Play it.
All right, here we go, and this is our TFW moment of the week.
Hey, turn my mic up. T F T F TFW moment of the week.
Hey, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad. Shout out to that. I can't wait to hear that back. TFW moment of the week. It's the moment where we pick from the week. Could be anything wrestling related. If we want to shout it out, this is where we shout it out at. I'm actually going to go with...
And we lay out.
We'll see. Last week's TFW moment of the week was pretty good, though.
Because y'all stepped all over it.
For me, it was the start of the breakup of Damage Control. Reason why, for me, is because I love Io Sky. And she is now the number one contender of Bianca. That match was supposed to happen on Monday. But with the travel issues, hopefully they make it a bigger deal. So we really get to see a highlight of Io and Bianca. But more importantly than that was seeing Bayley thread throughout the show of not wanting them to have the spotlight. And then seeing after Io won, the kind of look out of the side of her eye to Io and not even wanting to grab her arm to, in victory. So something that's really, really cool. We knew Damage Control was going to be splitting up a little bit after WrestleMania. We're starting to see the cracks now. But that was my TFW moment of the week. Io Sky being the number one contender to Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship.
Good one. I love that one. I love how Bayley was advocating for herself and came out and then Io cussed her out in Japanese and then cussed her out in English. Like, how you going to do that? How you going to play us like that? Anyways, sorry. I'm being a hypocrite here. Mine's, I think I kind of got worked into a shoot of confusion. Now we know it's official. Logan Paul re-signed with the WWE. And to me, the first picture that came out a couple years, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, 2 years ago, it was Stephanie, Paul, and him. This picture that comes out a couple days ago looks the exact same, different colors, minus Stephanie McMahon. Logan Paul comes out and says, nope, actually, I didn't Photoshop that. So after all this being said and done, the reason why this is my TFW moment of the week is because it made me feel like I was a mark, and I'm a mark, because I actually thought that it was not real, but then real. So me being a mark of the Logan Paul side-by-side picture is my TFW moment of the week.
That's a good one. Eshaun should have been that should have been his TFW moment of the week last week when Cody lost. Being a mark thinking Cody had a chance. Adrenaline in my soul. Sorry, man. My bad. Go ahead. What you got?
Well, I just want to cut this thing off.
That's how ridiculous. I feel sometimes.
No.
This is just too much.
I'm sorry, man.
Moment right now.
My bad.
I'm having a moment right now. It's horrible. But my moment of the week was continuing back to NXT, seeing Carmelo Hayes as the champion. And then also realizing that Wesley is also the North American champion. And I can't think of a time in recent history or history in general to where any promotion where we had an African-American champion and an African-American secondary champion of a division. I think for me, that's history. I don't think we even talked about it. And I think it's just amazing. I've been watching wrestling for a really long time. I just remember, in the late 80s and early 90s, just not seeing many of us in these spots. And in 2023 to have a promotion or a brand like NXT have two African American main and secondary champions. I thought it's awesome to see that I can show my little boys black excellence on TV. It's just phenomenal to me.
Inclusion and representation is so important on any and all levels. 100%, man. Absolutely. All right. Hey, we got through it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the jingle. I did. Eshaun, what you think about that?
It was horrible.
Yeah, let's never do that again.
Just for that, we're doing it every single week going forward.
Well, then I
hey, guys, you are going to sing it, Rhodesia, and you're going to sing it. No, you just didn't bring it. I had the music. Man, look. Listen.
We're not about to play. We're not playing it again. Our end music is playing right now on the recording. No, you can't redo that. Yet. Oh, my God.
Eshaun gonna put it like way past this. Come on. Hey. Okay.
F.
Okay.
This sounds like a porno song.
Okay.
TFW Moment of the Week.
Woo! Let's go.
Okay, Eshaun, you can do it. You can do it going forward.
He did that.
I like that.
But you know why? He committed to it. He committed to it. He didn't take it as a joke.
Sorry. Well, yeah, It sounds like Ron Jeremy porn music to me, okay?
That could be why. I wonder why my nipples is getting hard. Now I know. Hey, guys. The show is over. If you have not already, hit that follow button on your screen. Continue to support us. We appreciate each and every one of you for listening. If you have not followed us on our socials, do that. Twitter, that's FNW. YouTube, that's Freakin Wrestling. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Best kept secret in wrestling podcasts are here. That's Freakin Wrestling. And Rhodesia is on mute and she's talking. So I have no idea what she's doing right now. Thank you guys for listening. I don't know what. Hey, Rhodesia. I should do it again, but I'm not, because the music is playing right now.
Yeah,
and we don't want to double. Right we don't want to double up the music.
Let's end the show. End the show.
All right. That's it, guys. See you next week.